Today we are reading two books. You're Here for a Reason by Nancy Tillman and Raven by Gerald McDermott. You're Here for a Reason. You are here for a reason. You certainly are. The world would be different without you by far. If not for your hands, your eyes, and your feet, the world like a puzzle would be incomplete. Even the smallest of things that you do blossom and multiply far beyond you do. A kindness, for instance, may triple for days, or set things in motion in different ways. It travels much further than you'll ever know, under the treetops, over the snow, till it's wondered and fluttered and floated and twirled, making all things happen all over the world. You're here for a reason. It is totally true. You're part of a world that is counting on you. So don't be too worried if some days fall flat. Good things can happen even from that. Life can be tricky, there isn't a doubt. You'll skin your knees trying to figure it out. But if life works together, the good and the bad, the silly and awful, the happy and sad, to paint a big picture we can't always see. A picture that needs you, most definitely. Remember that next time a day goes all wrong, and that ball you lose, or that kite you let go, you could make someone's day. You just never know. The kite streamers from the boy's kite in the beginning. You're here for a reason. If you think you're not, I would say that perhaps you forgot. A piece of the world that is precious and dear would surely be missing if you were not here. If not your smile and your laugh and your heart, this place that we called home would be minus a part. Thank goodness you're here. Thank goodness times two. I just cannot imagine a world without you. That is the end of You're Here for a Reason by Nancy Tillman. The next book we have is Raven by Gerald McDermott. Raven, a Trickster Tale from Pacific Northwest, told and illustrated by Gerald McDermott. For Trevor, Aaron, and Gayton. Raven came. All the world was in darkness. Sky above was in darkness. The waters below were in darkness. Men and women lived in the dark and cold. Raven was sad for them. He said, "I will search for light." Raven flew across valleys and across mountains. He flew along rivers and over lakes. There was darkness all around. Then he saw a bit of a light far away. He flew and came closer to the light. The light was at the edge of the water. Here's the water, and this is Raven. The light came from the house of the Sky Chief, and it was shining. Raven perched in a pine tree on the shore. Raven watched. Here's the pine tree, and here's Raven. Here's the house of the chief across the water. He saw a beautiful young girl emerge from the shining house and go to the edge of the water. Still girl. She was the Sky Chief's daughter. She knelt and drank some water from a woven basket. Raven changed himself into a pine needle, right here. He fell down from the tree and floated on the water. When the girl again drank, she swallowed the pine needle. She drank Raven. After a time, the girl gave birth to a child. The child was small and dark, with shiny black hair and tiny black eyes. Who do you think the child was? Think it might be Raven? It was Raven. Raven had been reborn as a boy child. He has some funny eyebrows. The Sky Chief was delighted with his daughter's child. He called him grandchild. He played with the boy and carved toys for him. He invited the elders to come and see the curious, wonderful child. The elders gathered in the shining house with the Sky Chief and his daughter. They watched Raven child crawl around the floor on the lodge. He pretended to be playing. All the time, he was trying to figure where to find the light. He's trying to find the light. The boy was large. The box was large. It was carved and painted with many colors. The box was bright. It glowed. Raven said, "Gaga." "What do you want?" asked his mother. Raven child says, "Gaga." He began to cry. "What does the child want?" asked the elders. Raven child said, "Gaga." He cried and cried. "My grandchild wants the box," she said to the Sky Chief. There's Raven. He's trying to get the box. And the box he thinks is the light. That's the mom and the grandpa. The young woman placed the box in front of Ravenchild, but he continued to cry. Aw, poor Raven. She took the lid off the box. Inside, there was a smaller box. She took off the lid of that box. Inside was an even smaller box. His mother took off that lid and lifted off that lid, and light poured out of it. Light flooded the room. Inside the box was a shining ball, blazing with light. What do you think the ball was? It was the sun. "Give him the ball," said the Sky Chief. His mother gave Ravenchild the ball. Ravenchild stopped crying. He began to play with it. He rolled it around the floor of the lodge. Gaga! Then he changed into a bird. Ha ha! He became Raven once again. Caw caw. He went from making baby sounds to laughing to being a real bird. Sky Chief, his daughter, and the elders looked in amazement. Raven plucked off the ball of light in his beak, flew through the smoke hole of the lodge, and disappeared into the sky, the dark, dark sky. He's flying away with the sun. What do you think he's going to do with it? Raven flew over the valleys and the mountains. He flew along the rivers and across the lakes. Raven threw the sun high into the sky, and it stayed there. This is how Raven stole the sun and gave it to the people. All the darkness is gone, and he placed the sun into the sky. This is the house down here. And no more darkness. And why do the people always feed Raven? To thank him for bringing him the light. And that is the end of our 2 stories. See you next time.